Welcome back to another episode of the NFT Talks podcast. I'm your host, Sean, and in today's episode, I have the founder of the RumbleKongs League. His name is Marcus. We filmed this back in August, so obviously things may be a bit dated, but it's always good to see the progress of the project because the success I've had so far, the collaborations that's happening, is everything that he was talking about actually in this podcast. Now, he talks about everything from what they're doing, gamifying, which is important, his background in gaming, which is important. He's got a team that's going to actually execute on what they're actually saying. Guys, there is an issue with the audio. I found there's peaks and troughs. So if you do experience anything, I apologize in advance. But guys, so much value in this podcast. So please like, subscribe, and let's help build this community. Welcome back to another episode of NFT Talks, and I'm here with Marcus Direct. He's the co-founder of RumbleKongs League, one of the hottest NFT PFP projects out there at the moment. A lot of buzz, a lot of celebrities talking and whatnot. I'm excited to speak to you. How you doing, man?
Hey Sean, thanks for having me. I'm excited to be here. Thanks for taking the time for in your busy schedule to host me and give me a chance to talk a little bit about the RumbleKong League.
That's what we want to hear, man. So before we get into everything, I always like to hear the background of individuals because it's interesting to see where people have come from, different industries, different backgrounds and whatnot, and your involvement in introduction into NFTs.
Yeah, so I'm gonna keep it short. My background is I worked in the gaming industry for the last 10 plus years. Like in 2008, I joined Activision Blizzard, where I worked in the European office on the publishing side, and I stayed there for 4 years before moving on to a Belarusian free-to-play company called Wargaming, where I was in charge of the publishing operations in Europe when I left, and then I joined a French startup that was focusing on cloud gaming, where I stayed for 1.5 years, and I helped them to open the market in the German-speaking territory, as I am a German living in France. So that was a good fit. However, during that time as well, I got into the crypto space, and I think I had a similar journey than a lot of other people in the space. Like I started investing in regular stocks, like a dabble around with like eToro, Robinhood, this kind of stuff, and then. You buy a few ETFs, you buy some stocks in Microsoft, you buy an Apple, and you're like, oh, it's gonna make me rich in 50 years, and can lean back and have a retirement. And then I fell into this rabbit hole of crypto and coins, and I discovered this, and I shortly after, like last year, I discovered NFTs. I spent time and learning about NFTs and what it is and what the implications are. And coming from a gaming background, I had this penny drop moment where I'm like, hey, actually, this is pretty cool, and there's a lot of opportunity there. And I joined the Sandbox, where I'm currently working as a marketing director. And this is something which is it's a very exciting space. It's very there's a lot of movement there, and I wanted to get really closer to it and understand as well myself what NFTs are, what is those NFT collections, what is behind, and at the same time, I love basketball, I love gaming, I love the current movement in NFTs. This community, it's great because it's such a small space still, and you feel like everybody's knowing each other, and it's it's great to see. And I wanted to explore this deeper, and had a conversation with the co-founders at the Sandbox, and we're like, hey, I'd like to in my time off, I'd like to launch a little NFT collection on the side to see what it goes.
Just a little one.
Yeah, just a little one. And here we are, and it's I have this. I'm working during the day and a lot of hours on the Sandbox stuff because we were getting ready for the alpha, and then in the evening at night I'm dedicating my time to RumbleKong. So it's a very busy time right now.
Wow.
But it's very rewarding, and it's great because I'm working in two spaces that are amazing, and that that are quite different and have some parallels to each other. And RumbleKong League is so we launched, I think today or like around this date, like 2 weeks ago. So we are actually a brand that is less than 1 month old, and
Mhm.
I love the movement that we have right now, the attention, like the community behind, and yeah, I'm excited to talk more about it.
Yeah, but like I think after this podcast, the floor is going to go up because I mean I've been in the no really really and truly, like, the reason why I say that is because I was in the Discord obviously quite early before the drop, and but I did not know, and I think this is something that I feel is important. If you've got these attributes and you're open about speaking about them, you need to say, because I did not know your background. Now, considering your background with obviously Sandbox gaming, the way you talk about it, that makes you think, okay, then in regards to what you're doing, the chance of you actually executing on that is high because you know
No
what I mean. So
pressure, no
yeah, no,
pressure.
well, it's but I'd rather somebody who's got a bit of experience than somebody who hasn't. You know what I mean? That's where that's another thing we mentioned just before we actually start recording is do the people behind the projects and do you stay anonymous or do you come out and speak about yourself? It's I mean, why are you coming out and speaking about yourself? Why are you choosing that? Is it because to boost the project or?
And also there's multiple things. So on a personal note, I love I find well, I love like I find it very intriguing the concept of pseudonymity that is in the
Mm,
NFT space and in the crypto space. So that you
mm,
have personas that are out there that are called Pranksy, that have like that are called Metacoven, that are called Pack, that you know them for the identity that they are, but you don't know who's behind. In some cases, you know who's behind, but
yeah,
you essentially like you don't have to know who's behind. And it's this pseudonym, like this persona, this brand behind that where one person created it, but at the same time it's something that is timeless. So it could be like in 100 and 200 years there's still a like a Pranksy, a Pack or someone else out there that is
mm,
still pursuing the vision and is bringing it out, but it could be like a different person, could be a
yeah,
collective, could be something completely different. And I find this very fascinating that this space, it's like really it's enforcing this, it's bringing this to light. And myself, so I work in the gaming industry, like I'm a public person and I talk about it publicly, so my name is known and people know who I am.
hmm,
So, but at the same time, I respect everyone that wants to stay anonymous in the space, and I find it interesting. Like I have calls as well, like where I don't know the real name or the real face of the person that I'm talking to. It's just
mm,
because they represent themselves in they want to remain anonymous for various reasons. Like it's privacy. It's maybe they have another project that they don't want to be related to. I don't know, but like I respect that, and it's something that I find very very interesting. However, for RumbleKongs, there were a couple of things that when we started the project or started thinking about the project, that was for 3 4 months ago, like when it really started to get serious. We um we were like, okay, so there's projects coming out. There's like a NFT avatar project hype coming out.
hmm,
A lot of them are staying anonymous. It can go in two directions. Like there's projects that are rocking people, and it's like there's projects that are very serious and they're doing very well.
hmm,
And we were like, with what we want to build, like with having a gameplay component, giving utility, like building interoperability across like various NFT projects, and really having something that is like a that has a very grand vision, and it's something that where we think 5 10 years ahead. For us, it was important that we attach our names to it to show like, hey, this is something where we are serious about. We want to make this work, and we have the credibility behind it. So
yeah,
myself, now I work in the gaming industry. I know what a core game loop is. I know how to publish a game, like when it comes to marketing. We have the two co-founders from RenFT, which is an NFT renting platform. They help us with the backend and the contract of RumbleKongs, and when it comes to the deployment. So there is they are like in the space for the last 4 or 5 years, and really are in the nitty gritty, and they are co-founders
mm,
of a NFT focused platform. And then we have Sig Pencil, who's an artist that is became like very very known
yeah,
through like initially his derivative art, but he's doing like his own art for the last 7 8 years. And we wanted to attach our names to it and show like, hey, we have we know what we're doing, we want to make it work, we're putting our names on the line, kinda. We say like,
mm,
hey, we want to be attached to it, so there's a lot of risk, like but we don't think that we will fail, because we 110% believe in what we're trying to build. And
mm,
we hope that that by having our names attached to it, that other people also understand it, that there's actually there's real people behind that want
Yeah,
to
of
make
course. I think
interesting stuff.
I was going to say, Marcus, I really think it's important, and you always can tell when some people are launching projects in the space when I can see other projects in new projects, inspiration wise. So I don't know if you correct me if I'm wrong. I feel that this project was inspired like from a bit of the Bored Apes. You took the bit of you seen the success of Axie Infinity, of so it's everything that's working pushed into one project and a bit more on top of that. Would you say that's a fair comment?
Yeah, it's a fair comment. Actually, I give you like a bit of a rundown, like a very short history of what became the RumbleCon League. Is
Okay.
that around 5, 6 years ago, I was working in a video game company, and I had an idea for a mobile game that was
Mm.
based on 3 versus 3 combat with randomly assembled. Back then it was robots, but randomly assembled robots where you can you have a random generator where you put parts into a machine, and then something comes out, and then you assemble your team and you have like synergies and you put them into battle in 3 versus 3 as an auto battler. And this project wasn't greenlit in the end. However, it stuck in my head because I really thought like, hey, this is a cool concept. And then fast forward like 5 years where we are right now, where like programmatic avatars are like popping up, and I was like, actually, there could be this could be the chance to go back to the drawing board and
Yeah.
work on something. And then there is, of course, like we talk about it as well, like from an art perspective, it's it's not as much as like inspired by Bored Apes, but inspired by the level of quality that the Bored Apes have putting out there. When you look
Hmm.
at their art, like it can stand on its own, like it's very high quality. And high quality is really one mantra that internally is very important for us. And anything that we do, we want to put like quality first and not rush something out and do it quick just to like, I don't know, capitalize on a hype or something like that.
Yeah,
But
of course.
we wanted to take our time and do something proper. So yes, if you look at the Kongs and you look at the Bored Apes, and yes, they're both like it's primate based avatar projects, but we thought that Kongs would something that is fitting, that can stand on its own. And yes, like Sick Pencil, he's doing derivative art of the Bored Apes as well, and that's how I met him actually. Like this is how
Yeah.
the connection came to be. And then of course, like the play to earn component is where we look at Axie, because they're right now the biggest NFT project there. Like they're the first NFT game that made 1 billion USD in revenue,
Yeah.
which is a crazy amount when you
Crazy.
think of it. So, and then there's the other side, which is like Top Shot, which
Mm.
brought a very passionate basketball audience closer to a collection, and that all combined with our personal passion inside the team of basketball is like it's like it is what like ignite like brought up what became RumbleCon League. But
Mhm.
then under the hood, what we didn't talk so much, there's much more. Like we have the clubs, there's the leagues, there's from a branding opportunity, like for brands as well to enter, or for athletes to enter, there
Mhm.
we see a lot of potential for them to get into this space and build something that is NFT based but organic, because we also see that, or in the past couple of months, there were a lot of like brands or individuals that launched their own NFT collection, but it was something that did not fit. Like
Yeah.
you had like esports clubs that released NFT art of a 3D render or something, or something that didn't feel organic. Like
Yeah.
there was
It
no
just kind of
connection.
jumped into it, did something just to say they've done
Exactly.
something, and that's it. Yeah, yeah, I see that
Exactly.
from a lot of brands.
Exactly. Yeah, they go on Google Trends. They see like NFT is going through the roof. It's like, okay, we do something as well. And then I don't know, they go on Fiverr and get an artist. But so that's we want to give everyone an opportunity to find something that he likes inside the RumbleCon League. And of course, it's basketball, and it's something that we want to start with because we love the sport. Like it's cool to watch basketball. Like you have the athletes, like you cheer for them. It's sport, like it's competitive. It's like you have teams. Like there's a lot of things that we love and want to build on. But there will be parts that will be clearly inspired on other
Mm.
games as well. Like there's Axie. I'm a big fan of what Zrun is doing. There's of course the Sandbox as well, which is like from a creator standpoint is like innovating. You have Illuvium, which is like this auto battler kind of game that looks a little bit like that reminds me of Teamfight Tactics from League of Legends. So classical gaming, new type of gaming.
Yeah.
So But then we want to add our own twist to a lot of those things and improve it, because there's like the NFT space is still rather new, and there's a lot of
Yes.
things that I feel we can look and learn a lot when we look at traditional gaming, because that's something that's been done like for the last 30, 40 years. And there's like they went through this those baby how do you say, like those baby steps at the beginning. So we want to have really like a polished approach and do something that people are excited about, and it doesn't look rushed, and really like something that is just out there.
Right. So, Marcus, me and you've been talking. I think I've been a bit selfish because I need you to talk about the project, because the listeners and the viewers may not even know about this project. First of all, I know I'm in it, so we need to hear about the project, about everything. Okay, 10,000. Break it down. Break it down for me.
Okay. So actually, it's a good point.
Yeah.
Because I'm so like I got carried away. So the Rumblecon League is a project of 10,000 programmatically generated avatars that are built on two types of traits, which are visual traits and boost traits. So you might have seen that, for example, if you look at CryptoPunks, if you look at the Bored Apes, if you look at Wicked Craniums, like the Alien Boys, all of them, those are like avatar projects that have like visual traits and have a roadmap and components around community attached to them. And programmatically generated means you have a set of traits that can be 10 to 20 or 30 different eyes, mouth, clothes, all of this. And then you put it all into a machine that creates you 10,000, like actually it creates you like 45 million unique looking avatars, but you take 10,000 out of those that then create something that is completely unique, built on the blockchain by putting it onto an NFT token, and it belongs to you. That means in a lot of cases, you have commercial rights for this avatar. You can build a persona, a brand behind it. But in our case, we wanted to take this one step further and add utility, like clear utility to it as well, which is why we added a second type of trait, which we call boosts, which are around attributes that will affect the performance of each individual Kong in a upcoming video game. So those boosts are like shooting, vision, we have playmaking and defense. And those will affect various aspects. No, finishing, actually, not playmaking, finishing. That will affect various aspects when it comes to gameplay. So someone that has a high shooting is better at doing 3-pointers. Someone that has good vision is someone like it's a good center that does a good passing and has a good vision around the field, and defending is defending. Like you can steal ball and you can block. So that's the Rumblecon in a short summary. So there's lots more. But we launched this 2 weeks ago, and we had our initial drop of the 10,000 unique looking Kongs with a bit over 100 different traits that are all like scrambled together that makes every Kong look unique. Out of those 10,000, there's around 5% that look very special. That is like from a visual perspective, they are like very unique looking. They have like specific fur, like horns and a halo, and they look really cool. It's something that we made a deliberate choice to do things a little bit different than other NFT projects and have really this visual like 5%. However, when it comes to boost, they are completely randomly generated when it comes to who's a good shooter, like who's a good defender. And this was deliberate for us because we wanted to create a behavior that can go around 2 different traits depending of what type of persona you are as an owner. So there might be people that want to look for a new profile picture or something that they can relate to. So they look at visual traits and something that looks that they can relate to. And people that want to get more into the gameplay component, they do trade based on high shooting or high defending because they want to build their team, or they want to have because they play basketball on real and they're a good point guard. So they look for something that is around this concept. So
is it? It says, I know it's a 3-on-3 game. So do you need to own 3 Kongs to play, or so is it a case of you have to create a team, reach out to people in the community, let's build a team based on you're good at shooting, I've got the defense part covered? Is it that kind of feel to it, approach? Yeah.
So in my vision, you don't have to own a Kong at all to play the game, because as I mentioned before, we have 2 people in our team that are the co-founders of RenFT, which is an NFT renting platform. So maybe in my perfect vision, there is a way where you can put a Kong under your contract and maybe you rent it, or maybe renting like the first couple of games is completely free and you just borrow it and you can do some games, you can see how he performs, and you do have maybe some revenue share with the Kong holder. A little bit like Axie is doing with Scholars, but much more like user friendly and straightforward with just one click. That makes it easy.
Okay.
So, but when it comes to owning a Kong, you only have to own one. If you want to have like the full control over what you do, which club you join, you only have to do one. And that was important for us because first of all, we don't want to force someone to spend like I think we have a floor of like 0.2 or 0.25 or something like that, and we don't want to force someone to spend like a 0.75 to assemble a team. Like it's
of course, yeah.
Even 0.25 is a very, very high entry barrier to get like your NFT. So you will only need one, and then we wanted to create a little bit dynamics of people like, hey, I have good defense, I'm looking for someone that is a good shooter, like let's build a team. And then in the future we will introduce like this new layer, which are teams, which brings like a completely new level to the Rumble Kong League, because then again, in my opinion, you can be a team owner without having to own any Kong. So then it's like you become all of a sudden like this general manager role that is like, hey, I have this team. I have like my sponsor is I don't know, it's Adidas, and they're like, hey, I'm looking for like 3 people in my team or maybe more, and I have a sponsor. I'm ready to go into a league and participate there and hope that I can like pay the entry fee. If there's an entry fee, there's going to be free entry fees as well. But if you want to earn like or get a share of the prize pool, there's going to be an entry fee, and you want to enter this. So as a club owner, it's going to be much more strategically, because you have to pick the right Kongs for your team and what position they play in, who do you substitute, who's playing which position. While the Kongs themselves, they are more in a passive role, where we are looking at a type of gameplay that is more hands-off, but that you feel excited to watch, like as if you watch sports. Like if you want, I don't know, you want to watch the Chicago Bulls play, and you see like your player in there that is your NFT, and you're excited when he does a 3-pointer, and you're excited like when he clutches the last second or something, and you cheer and gives him like boost, and he can earn XP. And it's really this what we want.
It exists though, isn't it? I mean, I don't know if you're familiar like with things like Player Manager and stuff like that, and like like soccer, football. Obviously, you're not American, so football, you understand that. So that already exists. People do this. The managing side is definitely a good, a good route. I like that idea. I like that. I definitely like that. So it gives everyone a chance to join. Never go.
Yeah, so there's like, of course, there's the management. There's like Ultimate Team is something that inside the team we played a lot. Like we know the sport, like we know the ins and outs. So imagine like if you play, I don't know, FIFA or anything, and you have an Ultimate Team, but imagine the player card, like it's your Kong. Like this is essentially what you have, and that's what we like. And you have attachment to it, and you use it, like you go into matches, you improve him, he's gonna come better, and by becoming better and by playing and getting seniority, and you maybe have like 200 points. Ultimately, you're increasing the value of that NFT, because he gets like seniority, he gets experience, like you know how he plays. Maybe he plays better in the first half, maybe he plays better in the second half. Like he's good at 3-pointers, maybe he's good at like stealing balls, and those are the type of behavior you have to learn, because it's wrong. And it's not evident through the stats, but it's like there's this whole understanding him and getting like an attachment to him, and then you maybe you feel bad for selling, but you don't want to sell him, but it's like it's your Kong. So that's the type of environment that we want to create.
I love the concept, and like I said, it's always hard to get that across without speaking to somebody, because there's only so much you can say on the website. There's only so much you can say in the Discord. I mean, with the Discord, anyone's in a Discord, it's just like loads of it. So it's hard to even keep up. But sometimes I have conversations, but that's the beauty of having these conversations to explain what it is. Because now I'm thinking fancy league, also a bit of soul rare, a bit of everything. Like literally, you've pulled all different attributes from different projects and just bundle it into this one to offer so much. So I'm looking forward to it. Talk to me about obviously the sneaker move, which I think was the sneaker. So I know, is it you give an airdrop? You drop an airdrop to all the Kongs, giving them sneakers. Yeah.
So initially, when we announced the sneakers, so the sneakers actually they were meant initially when we announced the sneakers, we were at I think we sold like 25% or 30% of our like of the 10K, and we were like, hey, it's like we have a very engaged early community. Like we were happy with our growth. Like we didn't have any big influencers that chilled the project, and we're like, hey, I'm gonna go in there, and then it's gonna get crazy. So it was really like it was organic. We had a very engaged audience, and we were like, hey, it's cool. Let's give them something. Let's do something cool. And we were like there's a lot of sneakerheads out there. Let's just do a sneaker airdrop. And we announced this. And actually, then between announcement and sneaker drop, like we sold out. Like there was there was a Ja Rule who all of a sudden tweeted about like at RumbleKongs. I think right now he has his profile picture is a RumbleKong as well. And
I
and
see
everything
him trash talk. I see him trash talking in the Discord saying he's going to dunk on people and all
Yes,
sorts.
yes. Yeah, it's very like it's like Discord was it's a wild space right now with all the people that are in there, and so then we sold out, and the sneaker drop we were like, okay, but now we can't just take one sneaker drop. We have to do something that is like we have to give we have them like different skins, different scarcity, and like Sig Pencil again, like he did a great job like with those with the design of the sneakers, and we created like I think 17 unique looking sneakers that are not unique, but there are 17 different skins
Yeah.
that you can collect. However, they are meant as a thank you for anyone that's there like in the first week and that joined us this early on, because like as I mentioned as well, like we have a vision that goes multiple years, and for us it's important like that you have this pair of sneakers and you look back at it. Maybe in the future there will be a way to display it somewhere, but there's not going to be any gameplay effect on it. Like it won't increase your dunking or anything like that.
Yeah.
It's
Okay.
basically
Okay. All right. It's
it's
just.
just the like hey, I was there. It's a memory. It's collecting. It's like they look cool. Maybe we'll find a way to use them as a skin or something like that, but it's not something that we really want to push yet, because our focus is developing a playable prototype and an MVP, a minimum viable product, and get this out there and focus about like the cosmetics and anything that's add on later on. So the focus is really just having a gameplay.
Okay, so one thing I do want to talk about is a personal thing for myself, and I think it's going to happen. It happens to a lot of people now. I mean, regards to everything, dude, I'm always busy anyway. Trying to keep in tune with the Discords is you try and join in, and you come out, you join in and come out, and then it seems like people spend 24 hours in there sometimes. Because the messages are going off. But as at a launch of a project, and this happens to a lot of these PFP projects, at a launch of a project, obviously there's the gas issues that fly up. I mean, I sure the one point I went to look when you'd launch, maybe it's a day or two, I think, because it took you about 9 days to sell out. Was that right? Was that correct? Is that correct? About 9 days or
Oh no, it was way less. Like we sold, I think, in 5-6 days.
5 6 days? Okay, okay, 9 NFT days then, isn't it?
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so
2 weeks.
yeah, 2 weeks. But yeah, so I was in there early, and it was like, okay, then you launched the first day. I was going to take a look, see what's happening, and so on. And then I looked at the gas price. The gas prices were ridiculous, and I thought, okay, I'm sure it was within the nearly $1,000. I don't know why at that point.
Okay.
Yeah, so I was a bit confused. I think, okay, let me leave it, and then all of a sudden I missed the opportunity.
Yeah.
So this seems to happen, and this can happen to obviously to people within the space. Like, how do you time it? How do you get one? And this is for any other projects. Like, what's the strategy?
Yeah, so from an NFT collection standpoint, of course, there are strategies that come around like time of day,
Yeah.
day of the week, like when you want to time it and which approach you want to take. So from our side, actually, when we dropped, like at the time of the drop, the gas was between like 20 or 40 gray. So actually, we were quite low.
Okay.
We paid around like $20 or $30. Like when I minted the first Kong myself to test like the contract,
Yeah.
I paid like $5, $10 or something. So it was very low, because
Really?
at
Okay.
the time of drop there was no other NFT collection dropping. Like we had the floor to ourselves.
Yeah.
The day like we launched on a Wednesday, which was a rather quiet day when it comes to like gas activity and activity in the NFT space. So the drop overall was super smooth. Like there was no issue. Then of course, like over the days there were times when it went up, when it went down. So maybe you were just lucky and you picked like a peak when, I don't know, there was an art blocks drop or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah, something had happening.
Yeah.
I was thinking, I've never seen him so high. But
so from a from this perspective, like it was very smooth, and we didn't have any like again, it goes back to quality. Like we did a test, we did QA and everything, and we
yeah.
didn't have any issues really when it comes to minting. The experience was smooth. Like people went on the website, they said like, hey, I want to have 1 Kong, I want to have 10 Kongs, and they appeared in their wallet. So this was again like was very smooth, and like the team did an amazing job on like just the overall experience and the flow, and there were no issues on that side. Then of course, like over the next days, there were like other projects launching and it was coming up. When it like in terms of strategy, the only thing that I can recommend to any project is like know your audience first of all, like because we know we're going to talk about basketball, we talk to an audience that might like Top Shot, that likes the NBA. So for us it's important, like when myself I'm in Europe, I like we did a launch in my evening time because it's like when the US is awake and there's stuff going on. However, for example, if you do something that is more like targeted to an Asian market or like a European market, then of course the time of day is important and it might change something. It also changes your like the addressable audience because like there's a different momentum and different behavior around different regions. So actually we see a lot of attention in the US space. But like Asia and Europe are also like very fast growing in the NFT space, and it's great to see. And then of course like executing like have a team that knows what they're doing. Like really, it's like this is gold. Like to work with people that know what they're doing and that are confident and they know how to, in worst case, even know how to quickly fix something. That's that's you can't like this is something like money can't buy. Like really, this is like what the technical discussions there were before the launch. I was completely lost. Like I didn't understand the word, but I trusted them when they talked about it because I know like the guys, they know what they're doing. And so each of us had like their own responsibilities when it comes to the project, and we executed on it. And like we did, I consider ourselves like very successful, and I'm very grateful for the like anyone that got a Kong or two or like over 50. I don't know, I'm humbled, and I'm really like incredible grateful because like it's something that we wanted to create and wanted to people to like relate to and be excited about, and we have the feeling that we succeeded in that. So now of course we follow up on like on the whole gameplay and on the utility part, but like what we see as well, like we have over 2,000 unique like holders. Like there's, like I said, like Ja Rule is there. Like we had Dimitri Vegas, like a DJ who tweeted about it yesterday. There's a lot of DMs that we get from people and brands that I would have never thought ago that I would have a conversation.
Come on, give us one of them. Give us one of them.
No, I'm not gonna give you any sneak peeks because you never know what comes out of it. You know, like
yeah.
I say now, oh, I'm talking to. I don't even want to say.
Yeah.
I'm talking to Elon Musk, you know, and then it doesn't go through.
yeah.
So it's no, we're very like we're reserved. We and it goes back like again, like I said it on, it's about quality, and we don't want to like have a like we don't want to chill and say like, oh, today I talked to those and those and it's going to be great and we're going to do something awesome and you're going to love it, all like in an effort to try to keep the floor price up or get people jumping into like, no, we want to do something that's proper, that is quality, that is that has a like a that makes sense as well, and that the community can be excited about. And when we're ready, we're going to talk about it. We're going to tease it a little bit before, once we know that we're in a situation where we can tease about it. But like you won't get any name or brand out of me or like we have an agreement.
okay, cool. Okay, that's cool. All right, so what I want to do, I mean, we talked about the project. Let's talk about back to you personally. I know that you obviously in the NFT space, you're well invested with regards to working with Sandbox, and obviously got the PFP project. What projects do you collect yourself?
Yes, I have. So if you go in my wallet, there's the wallet that I'm proud of, and there's my hidden part of the wallet.
Okay. So what projects have you, anything you've got that any good, obviously popular ones that you've got that you can speak about, and then maybe drop me a rare one that you think, yeah, this is just one that I picked up and I like it.
A popular one, like I have my Bored Ape. I only have one because I believe this is a project where it's around unique wallet holders, and I used to have multiple, but I only have one that is my how we call it, forever Kong, where I reject the offers of like 40 grand, and I'm like, nah.
Crazy. How much did you buy it for? How much did you get it for at the time?
Actually, I bought it initially like I was late because the drop happened in nighttime for you, and then I waited a couple of days because I was not sure, and I got mine for 0.4.
Okay.
So I was still under 1 ETH, and
Hmm.
actually, what happened to me is that one night I had it listed for 7 ETH, and I forgot about it. And then I was like, oh, I'm gonna unlist it on my phone, and it didn't work on my phone for MetaMask for whatever reason.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
didn't go through. So I was like, I'm gonna do it later on my PC, and then I forgot about it. I went to sleep, and then in the morning I got my notification like, oh,
Sold.
transaction successful. I'm like,
Oh.
no. And then I saw the guy tweeting about like who got my Kong, and I was like, oh, I got this one, and like it was a
Oh.
steal. And then I'm like, okay. So I went immediately back in there. I got a new one, and
Oh man.
I was like, okay. But now I have one that I consider my forever Kong. So this is like the popular ones, and like I have the cool cats, which I love. There's a lot of projects that like I love as well.
See, Mike Tyson he's got that as his handle, hasn't he? A cool catch up, yeah.
Yeah, he has a cool cat. What else is in there? Like we have the wicked craniums. Like you have the voxodeos. You have the voxies.
Mm.
There's a lot of really really cool projects. Like the cyber kongs are also like they're very cool. Like it's again like this gorilla theme, which I personally like love.
Mm.
Um, there's a collection that I really like is they're called Skull Punks with a V
Okay.
instead of a U. It's like a guy and he's like doing 3D art, 3D design. It's something where I've randomly found this being put in a comment one day,
Yeah.
and it immediately resonated with me. And I went in and I bought my Skull Punk. Like he has various collections now. I own a piece of one of them, and like this is art I really like. I clicked with. Like it's really like
Yeah.
I know it's not for everyone, but this is really a collection that if it's a bit my underdog collection, despite him having like an active community and he's very active on
Mm.
social media, but he's doing like a really really good job. And then about like my hidden tab, I'm not gonna talk about it.
Why are you hiding it? Why are you hiding it?
No,
What's
it's like no, it's like there's various reasons. There's
is you get is it about
there's hits and miss. There's some
yeah.
projects who launch where you think like it goes back to the anonymous part. Like it's some projects where you think like, hey, it's a cool project, like I can relate to it, and
Mm.
then the team like completely abandons it or doesn't go forward, and or it was like hyped for the wrong reasons. So I changed my I had learnings as well, and I changed my approach as well, because right now it's really more from a like as if you invest in a startup, like you look at who's the team behind, what is the roadmap, what is the utility, like why would I care about this project. And that was as well important for us as well when we talked about RumbleCon League to address all those points. And I worked with a couple of startups in the past, so I know what to look out for. I know what is important when you look
Mm.
from an investment standpoint as well into a project, and we wanted to address all of those points.
Yeah, I agree with you in regards to looking into a project. These are things you have to look at. And another thing, I see people doing courses on NFTs and whatnot, how to buy the perfect NFT. But you don't know. There's no, you don't really know. Every NFT you're buying, it is a risk to a certain extent
Yes.
because you don't know what's, especially if you're buying it for value to go up. We don't know.
Yeah.
So you got to buy it for your personal reasons and be prepared to take the loss if that is the case. Hopefully it isn't.
Exactly. Yeah,
But
for this
yeah,
it's really like stocks. Like you don't invest money that you don't have or that you're not willing to lose. Like it's really there's always a risk attached, and of course, like I'm doing the disclaimer of any NFT that I mentioned before. Like do your own research, and this is
yeah, of
no
course,
financial
yeah.
advice. But really do something that you believe in. Like support artists and support small artists, because like there's a lot of projects that get a lot of buzz, but there's a lot of artists that are doing the grind and that are doing awesome work. Like this is how I met Sick Pencil. Like it's he's doing derivatives and he's doing other art. Like he has a collection that is the Sick Pencil collection on OpenSea, and it's like it's amazing, and it's a very high level of quality. But it's a pity that he didn't get the recognition that he has now, that he didn't get that before, because he deserves it, and he's an
Yeah.
amazing. He's a super creative guy that I like respect now that I worked with him closer, even more than I respected before, just from a visual standpoint. So it's really like I'm happy that he can get the recognition that he deserves. And the same actually with there's another project which I love, which is like the world of
Women.
women NFT.
Yeah, that one's been spoke about a lot. Like
Yeah.
everybody's speaking about that. Yeah.
Yeah, and they launched, I think, just 2 days before us. And I know the two founding team. Like I know them very well. Like we talked before, and like I love what they are doing because of the like it's completely different reason than what we have. Because for us it's about utility and entertainment. For them it's really about awareness and charity and supporting artists, which for us is important as well. But we have a different type of approach. So we know the team. Like we support them where we can. Like I love what they're doing. But it's like it's a crazy space, and but you have to be vigilant and be careful with what you invest in. And just because everybody talks about something doesn't mean it's a good project. Just look at like I don't want to call any names, but there's Russian dudes who pretend to be women.
Yeah,
Just
that was crazy. But they've given, apparently have they given all their earnings to women now, or artists?
I don't care. Like
Yeah, and
they lied to make money. They lied to launch a collection. So why
yeah.
would I trust anything that they're doing going forward? It's
True,
their
true.
personal.
Fair point. Well, you know what? I know that obviously I know we're conscious of time, so I don't want to keep you too long. But like, I appreciate you coming on and talking about obviously the Kongs, amazing project. It's really interesting to hear about yourself and your perspective on the NFT space and what you're doing. I'm looking forward to see what you guys are doing in the future. And that, like we can see if we can touch back down the line towards the end of the year and see all the when the gaming kicks in.
Yes,
So
actually, let's
yeah,
let's
let's just
talk
talk
like
about let's talk about that
let's
actually.
talk
Yeah,
quickly. Let's talk
yeah,
quickly about the
quickly.
game because this was
Yeah,
why people were going to tune in because they want to know
yeah.
more about the game. So we did the initial drop of the 10K Kongs to help us finance the project. So we there were funds, but what I said in the past and what I'm going to say again, like doing a game today is simple because like you have all those tools to develop games. Like you have no code game development tools. Like you have like drag and drop game development tools. But doing a good game is not easy because like there's so much more to a game that when you look at it from the outside, it's not evident. Like you have a game call loop, like you have a monetization model, you have like the gameplay. It needs to be balanced. It needs to be fair. Like you want to do something that everybody enjoys, that looks good. Like the animations should look smooth. Like the graphics should look good, and all of this like it adds up to a lot, to a very big scope, which is why we decided to launch this 10K collection because it's going to help towards the funding of the project. And we know that there's a risk involved for people because they're like, why would I invest in a project that doesn't have a game yet playable? And so we're thankful for anyone that took this jump and trusts us in doing that. And the only thing that I can say, like right now, we are talking to I don't know, 5 to 10 different studios that are a mix of that are all like advanced discussions already. That are all a mix of studios that know the NFT space or that already did something in the NFT space, or studios that are from a traditional perspective, and some that did both. So we are in very advanced discussions with some of them. And I think this is going to be something that maybe by the time this airs, it's going to be more ironed out and we have a better idea. But this is also like once we signed and we have an agreement and we know what are the terms and which direction we go in game design direction, we will talk more about like actually the gameplay, because we have a white paper as well that exists, but there might still be changes after
Yeah.
we get the input from the game development studio, and because they are like they're professional game designers, and we are also looking for people that are professional game designers and know the NFT space. So I hope that by next week we have a white paper that we can share with the community, where we can go out like, hey, this is how it will look like. This is what a Kong is. This is what a club is. This is what a league is. This is how you can improve it. This is how you like how a token will look like, however it's going to be called. Because down the road we will need to have an ERC20 token that is just fueling the ecosystem and that enables play to earn. It's like AXS and SLP tokens from Xe, because they have like it's play to earn. But we're looking for a model where we have ideally only one. Maybe it's going to be two, maybe it's going to be three. I don't know. But all of this, there's a lot of open questions that we need to clarify, and that might change. So we're going to probably release a white paper that is the pre-alpha white paper, that is the vision document that shows like, hey, this is how we envision it, but nothing here is final and can change. So and because like our community, they want to see a white paper and they want to get more information about it, so we're gonna release our holy grail that we have, that we're currently working with, and give more information. But then once we have signed, once we walk towards an MVP that we like announced and plan to have by the end of the year, we will give more, like we will be able to talk more about like, hey, this will work like this is now going to go in this direction. Maybe there's going to be complete changes towards what I said in the last half an hour towards what it's going to be. But this is also the nature of
NFTs, how would you change?
NFTs, of game design. Like I just like there's this Blizzard game Overwatch. Like when I first heard about Overwatch, it was an MMO and it was in an internal show and tell that was it was actually, I think it was known as well. It was called Titan, which was an MMO and was something completely different. Became like a shooter game, only a shooter game. So it's the nature of things to completely change the scope and to go in a different direction. I don't know if this is the case for us. I just want to mention that like this is anything is possible, and for us it's important as well, like to keep an open mind towards something that might be better for the project in the long term, rather than just pushing something out because we said we're going to do a game, so we're going to have a game. So yeah, so in the coming weeks, because now the difficult part will be between now and when we have the game or when we show something. So we're going to talk more about the clubs, more about the leagues, more about anything, and like I'm excited to share more about this very soon.
Well, like I said, there's I can't really say much of that. Like that's perfect, a perfect ending to obviously our conversation. I look forward to it. Like I'm excited, and I'm going to have to go take a review and see if I can get myself a con to get involved in all this, man. But exciting stuff from you guys, and I think it's positive that you're out here talking about it, explaining the project, coming from a good background in regards to a credible background, I should say. I feel that you guys are going to deliver. So I'm banking on you guys.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for the support. Like it's now the real work starts, but it's great for me as well, like to talk a little bit more about this in this environment, because like as you said as well, like there's only so much we can say in written form, but it gives us an opportunity to talk about it. And we're hosting regular AMAs on our Discord, where we want to give like everyone the chance to ask questions as well. We're going to do recaps. We want to involve everyone, like we want to involve the Kong holders as well, like in the development process, and say like, hey, do you prefer it this way or that way? So that's going to be very, very exciting, and really something where in a couple of months we look back and we can say like, hey, we built this together, which is like really which is a cool feeling.
That's what it's about, man. That's what it's about. But thanks for coming on. I hope everyone enjoyed this episode, listening or viewing. Some great gems in there. Go get yourself a Kong.
No financial advice, but go get yourself a Kong.
Yeah, it's no fancy. I was gonna put it out there. Go get yourself a Kong. Like it is what it is, isn't it? All right, and cool. Well, thanks for that.
Thank you for having me.
Take care, Marcus.
Talking to you. Thank you.